see us on my computer? Ollie boy, I have some things I want to share with you.
Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to share a story that is a very important piece of what has made me into the person I am today. If you don't know, I have a dog named Oliver. He has been in so many of my vlogs. He is a terrier and he's the cutest little thing and I love him to pieces. He means the world to me. He has changed my life in ways that I can't even express, but I'm gonna try my best to tell you in this video. So, there was a time in my life for honestly years where I was terrified of dogs. I could barely be around dogs, and I feel like in order to understand why, we need to go back in time to when I was 6 years old. So when I was 6 years old, I was bitten by a dog. I was bitten in the mouth, the face, and I actually have a scar. It's like around here, and I had to get stitches. It was very traumatic. I don't remember a lot of what happened. I remember bits and pieces of it, but I was so young. So, safe to say, after that experience, I was terrified of dogs. Like, I was beyond terrified. I couldn't be around dogs. I did okay. Like, of course, like, I had family who had dogs. So my grandparents, my aunt and her family, like they had dogs. So there was times where I had to be around dogs and I did okay with dogs that I knew because, you know, for summer we would visit my grandparents or we would go camping with my aunt and their family and I had to be around dogs. I had no choice. But I did okay with that, as I said, because I was more comfortable with the dogs because I knew them, but I definitely kept my distance to them and I was so, scared, but I did okay. What really was something that impacted my life was dogs that I didn't know well. Dogs that I would see in public or my friends' dogs, especially when I would go over to their house. I had two friends specifically that I would go over to their house and they had dogs and it was like I couldn't be around their dogs and I feel so bad because I'm sure they were the sweetest, nicest, most amazing dogs. I guess my trauma took over me. That was my life. Honestly, I was 14 years old. And then one day, my freshman year of high school, in the fall time, I came downstairs, I was getting ready for school, I saw my mom, she was in the living room on her laptop, and she was on Facebook. She was scrolling on Facebook. I don't remember this whole thing. One of the things I saw was there was like a hamster or a guinea pig, something like that, and I said something to my mom. I was like, I want a pet. And at first, I just said a pet. I didn't say a dog, a cat, or anything like that. I honestly think because it was just like even saying I want a dog scared me because I didn't know if I was truly ready. But then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I want a dog. And my mom responds, honestly, I kind of think I was surprised because her response was like,
oh, I think that's a great idea. I was actually thinking about how you said get a pet.
And I was like, oh, I was not expecting that. I remember at the time, I felt like it took forever, but looking back, we ended up getting Oliver pretty soon after. But I knew I wanted a small dog because I just felt like that would be the best, and the dog that bit me was a big dog, so I just felt like in order for me to not be so scared, a small dog would be best. And then my mom brought up a terrier because her favorite dog as a kid was a terrier, so you know, we started looking at terriers, and of course, I was like, oh my goodness, they're so cute. We really wanted to adopt a dog that really needed a home. I remember my dad emailing a person that had a terrier, but like we never heard back. But one day, my dad went to the animal shelter, and there was one terrier. There was one terrier, and his name was Grover. He was 2 years old. And I remember he filmed a video of him, and he was barking, and he was the cutest thing. And I just knew after that video, we needed to adopt this guy. And remember, like, we were talking about that for a little bit, but then I was like, okay, you need to like go back to the animal shelter, and like we need to adopt him right now, because I feel like someone else is gonna take him. And I remember at the time, the two things I was mainly like worried about was like how big he was. Like, even looking at the video, I was so like, oh my goodness, like, is he gonna grow? Like, looking back, like me being so worried that he was gonna grow. But yeah, he maybe like grew a little bit. Yeah, I remember my dad was like,
yeah, he might grow a little bit, but that's pretty much his size.
But that was like the main worry for me, just because, you know, I was so, you know, scared of dogs at the time. And so on November 20th, 2012, we brought Oliver home. Oh, my dad brought Oliver home. His name was so Grover, but we ended up changing his name to Oliver because we liked it more, and I don't know, we didn't feel like he looked like a Grover, so we ended up changing his name to Oliver. And I just remember, like, we got toys for him, we got like everything he needed, and the first like few days, weeks, I was like watching him play. You know, taking him out, like, giving him food and water. At the time, like, I really didn't think about it, but literally every day, he was helping me heal. He was helping me heal from my past trauma.
Hi, Oliver. What are you doing? Oh, you little kings. I love you.
He was making me feel like everything's gonna be okay. You're going to get through this. Like, you are gonna be fine. And he just made me realize just how amazing dogs are. And he just helped me heal throughout that whole time. You know, the first year, I would say. In the beginning, I sure was, you know, like hesitant, especially with bigger dogs. But I will say, like, it honestly didn't take me that long. He is just the most amazing thing. I learned so much about his personality and everything. Like, it didn't take long to realize how much he loves driving. He absolutely loves to drive in the car. That is his favorite thing to do. He just loves to go. Oh my God. There's nothing he'd rather do than drive in the car. It does make me wish that I could drive, because you better believe if I could drive, we would be driving all over town. I mean, he loves to lie in the sun. We actually joke around, my mom and I feel like only my mom and I, but we joke around how he's like part cat. Because he does things that I feel like cats do, and he's also like kind of like the size of a cat. He's just the most amazing thing, you know. He loves to play with his bag. Like, I think it's hilarious. Like, he does have toys that he loves. He actually is kind of picky when it comes to toys. But he loves to play with his bag. Yeah, I love taking videos when he plays with his bag, because it's like the most hilarious thing. And it's oftentimes like after he has like going outside and get his, you know, business and everything. So he's like, I feel good. Nah, 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 nah. Now I'm gonna play with my bag. Also, another thing that he loves is apples. I just think that is like so random. Like, he loves apples. Like, he honestly loves anything that we eat. He wishes he could have literally everything we eat and not his dog food. But the one thing he goes like crazy for is apples. I don't know what is about apples that he loves so much, but like, he loves them more than me. One thing I do want to mention is I got a tattoo last year that is fearless, and I have made a whole video about it, so if you want to watch that you can. But one thing I didn't mention, I don't believe, because it wouldn't make sense if you don't know the backstory to this that I'm saying in this video, but another reason why I wanted to get fearless tattoo on my arm, or just, you know, tattoo, is because of my dog. You know, because of my past trauma with dogs, I felt like fearless. You know, getting a dog, trying to overcome that fear was definitely a fearless decision, because there was a time where I thought I will forever be terrified of dogs, and to decide that I wanted to overcome it was definitely fearless. And this heart that I have next to it is for my Ollie boy, and honestly, just for the love I have for dogs, that I just like, they're truly the most amazing animals, and I just love them so much. So as far as I am today, I am not scared of dogs. I will say I'm so hesitant at times, more than, you know, the average person. I would say more in terms of big dogs. And I sort of feel like sometimes I have like a trauma response. I would say the biggest one for me is when a dog wants to lick my face. I know when dogs try to lick your face, they're just telling you they love you and they just want love. Because I got bit in the face, it sort of scares me, and I don't know like how best to describe it, but like, I just have to look away. I have to move my head. Another thing is when I'm looking at the dog. So I remember before, the one thing I remember before I got bitten was I was looking at the dog, and sometimes if I look at a dog, like, I will feel like I'm looking at the dog too much, and I'll get that same feeling of, oh no, maybe just like an anxious, like anxiety, like scale feeling, and then I'll look away because I'm just like, I'm looking at the dog for too long. So those are like two things that I still feel like it impacts my life. And also dogs that jump on you sometimes, like if they're saying or something like that, can, like, I can be a little hesitant with that. But I will say, like, overall, Oliver has healed me so much, has helped me in so many ways. I get so excited to meet dogs now, and I'm not scared of them, and I can be around them and not be afraid of, you know, getting bitten, and that's just the most amazing feeling. Oliver really did that for me, and I just love him so much, and I feel like I have to end this video by showing him, by thanking him, by just telling him how much he has changed my life. He will forever be with me. Like, he is getting older, which makes me sad, but instead of thinking about that, because we have had him for almost 11 years, it can be sad thinking, like, I don't know how long he'll be with us, but instead of thinking about that, I just want to think about just how much happiness he has bring me, how much he has just made me love dogs so much, how I'm not afraid anymore, how he has healed me. He brings the biggest smile to my face, and I love spending all my time with him. If I could, I would. And I just want to cherish every moment I have with him, because he's so here, and he as far as we know, like he's healthy and he's doing good. He's just truly amazing, and I wish he could talk back, and I hope like he somewhat understands when I tell him how much he means to me. I just love him. Anyway, I could talk about him forever, but let's end the video by seeing Ollie. You're the star layer guy. You're the sauce. You changed my life, Ollie boy. Do you realize how much you have changed my life? I love you like crazy, Ollie boy. Look at that's you. That's you, Leah guy. I love you. Love you so much, Ollie. Thank you for changing my life forever.